Today on A Commonly Good MTG, we're playing Rakdos Neck. Why is it Rakdos? Because it's made up of black and red cards. Why is it a snake deck? Because it has a single, well, it's got four of a single type of card that is a snake. And the whole purpose of this deck is get to the snakes, baby. So if you think Rottenmouth Viper is a cool card, then this deck is for you. Stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, and I may be a doctor, but I'm not that kind of doctor. So please stop sending me pictures of your infected junk. Michael. Doctor, you can't suck yet. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You can't suck it. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on Magic GG off the Platinum Mythic list. Had zero names, so I ended up naming it Rakdos Neck. Why is that? Because it was just called Rakdos because it was a Rakdos deck. And after I test played it a couple times, I realized the purpose of this deck is to get out your snakes. That's what we're doing here. So the rest of the deck is a great deck. It's pretty decent, but it's all about getting to the snakes, baby. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we're going to go crush some hopes and dreams. All right, let's start off. What do we got here? You have to sacrifice a creature enchantment, and then you can exile any target creature at sorcery speed. This guy comes out, and if he dies, scry 1 and create a treasure token. So you want to kill this guy. You want him to get killed. This forces your opponent to sacrifice or to discard a card and lose 2 life, at which point you have an enchantment that's sitting around waiting to be sacrificed. This comes out, and whenever one or more creature dies, you put out food tokens, which you can then sacrifice them. But whenever you can also pump this up so that whenever you sacrifice a permanent, which you're going to be doing a lot, target player mills 2 cards. So we kind of got like this sub path to victory of milling. Crazy. And it's all about Scavenger's talent. If you had multiple of these out, it'd be cool, but we only got 2 in the entire deck, so don't count your chickens before they hatch. This guy, I don't care if I put it on himself, the little and wicked, the cursed one. If he has a 3/2, that's great. If he comes out as a 1/1, I don't care. Why is that? Because I want to sacrifice both of him and his thing, because that usually counts towards 2 things being sacrificed. We'll find out later what that's cool towards. This guy comes out, haste. When he dies, you get to exile the top card of your library. You can play it until the end of your next turn. Great. Let's see. This one, you can bargain. Bargain is you sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token. We got a lot of things making all of the above. So we could do it for 3 rather than 2. And if it does get killed, then it exiles to the turn. Let me just keep going. -3, -3. Other than that, nothing can have hexproof or ward. And you have an enchantment just sitting out there waiting to be sacrificed. When this comes out, you sacrifice another enchantment or creature, at which point you could draw 2 cards, and then it sits out there and waits to be sacrificed. When you do sacrifice it, you get a Manifest Dread, which is take a card and turn it into a 2/2, which you can then sacrifice that thing if you want to, right? Braids allows you to sacrifice stuff, and if your opponent doesn't sacrifice something of the same type, then they lose 2 life and you draw a card. So we have a lot of things we can sacrifice. I wouldn't necessarily give it to Braids unless I was desperate. But Urabrask's Forge puts out a baby every turn, and it has to be sacrificed at the end of the turn. So double that up with Braids, and you got something that you're forcing them to get rid of an well, it's not even an artifact. It has to get rid of a creature. And if they don't, they lose 2 life in addition to whatever they lost otherwise. And you draw cards. So nice little combo there. Urabrask, like we said, puts out a baby every turn. It gets 1 stronger every turn. And it has trample and haste. And it has to be sacrificed. So what are we going to do with all these things that we can sacrifice? Rottenmouth Viper goes out for X mana, and for everything that you sacrifice, any permanent, non-land permanent, you pay 1 less. And so if you got like 1 black mana and like a bunch of stuff, like enchantments or whatever, you just go like the Forgeling, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 things. And a 5th thing. And then that 1 black mana, Rottenmouth Viper. You only need 1 mana to be able to cast it, potentially. All right, so anyways, it's cost 6 normally, but you get this guy out for much cheaper. At which point then, when it comes into play or attacks, they've got to, for each blight counter on it, lose 4 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. So there's a lot of way of getting around losing life, but it's still either discarding a card or sacrificing a non-land permanent. If they're putting out like little token babies every turn, they may not care. They'll sacrifice their little dudes. But no matter what, you got a nice 6/6. Plus, you get one of those every time you attack, one of those blight counters. So it just gets nothing but stronger every time you attack, which means that's like 2 dudes or 2 things they got to sacrifice, or 3 or 4. You get more of these guys out. It's just a tremendous hassle for your opponent to deal with. All right, as far as lands are concerned, nice amount of dual lands, nothing too horrible, and a nice collection of just regular basic lands. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to try to get some dudes out, grind them down a little bit, work our way up to 3. We're going to draw cards using things like Disturbing Mirth and the Percussionist and maybe a little bit of, what's his name, Greedy Freebooter as those guys die. So Urabrask comes out, starts grinding people down. We start using things like Braids to cause them damage. Pretty quickly, we're going to be able to throw down some Rottenmouths, and that'll just be really hard for your opponent to deal with. All right, so that's it. That's the deck. Let's go see if we can do some damage. But before we do, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sheoldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and hear lamentations of the women. All right, playing against Rengelstad, which is what? Rengel Street? Keep. I'm going to go down to the stad. We got 3 Greedy Freebooters. What a horrible way to start. Is this guy going to get rid of a creature? All right, we can Disturbing Mirth our way into something fun and exciting. It looks like he'll just do it for us. Oh wait, that exile stuff. That's fantastic. Let's get 2 of them out then. Look at those guys. They're the best guys in the world. I'm going to touch your golden bald baby. I need 6. I've got 4. That's not enough to do anything cool. Let's go for the attack. Auto pay. Let's go see if we can get ourselves some mana. That's a treasure token. That goes a long way. Mana, I said. Alright, there's 4. And we can hit this guy up. This gets us enough to put a Sneck out on our next turn. One, 2, 3. I don't need the mana now. All right, let's do it anyway. It's fine. I start taking the damage and throwing away cards. All these things are possible. I can't believe I'm contemplating not putting out the Urabrask Forge next turn. Right there, baby. What's that thing even do? They get to their mana creatures. That's what they get to be. Come on, my Rottenmouth Viper is being a smoker at the moment. And we win! In your face, Rengelstad. Victory. Alright, we are playing against Surferchic. Surferchic. 1 mana? No. Jeez. We're getting rid of here. None of this is great. I'll get rid of this one. All right, Mouse, you can shut up. Two. There's so much we could do with 2 mana. All right, one more thing we can sacrifice, and we can actually put out a Rottenmouth Viper. That's a thing. Let's start off with a little damage. Problems fight, just put it out. I could put it out and just call it good. And then we could start doing things. Or I could put it out, sacrifice one of my guys. Which sounds like more fun. All right, 2 mana. That's good. That's good. This is... I want something better than that, baby. All right, this guy's playing with kill, though. Is he's going for... This is, yeah, I don't know what this is. This is poison is what he's playing there. But poison. All right, we'll go in with the 1. We'll see if he tries to kill it. You're not going to be able to do much about the Viper, though. Unless he's got 2 of those things. He's not putting on any guys of his own. Dread. All right, suck it, Caesar Sucktarian. There's a guy. He's got a 6 for a butt. I don't know what you think you're going to do about it. Your deck's not great. You could bounce him. You probably got a bounce in there or something. That's hard to say. Yeah, that's more like it. See, that's the thing. You're good at getting up to 4. Decline. I thought I'd be able to get rid of a artifact there. It didn't really work out, did it? Anyways, victory! All right, we're playing against randombrownkid. That dude's made for sacrificing, so I'm not too worried about it. Leave him alone. Just leave him out there. He's just a big Wussosaurus Rex being all wussy. Just leave him be. Smoking his smoke rings there. It's okay, randombrownkid. No pet, no sleeves, all lowercase. All right, we'll zook that turkey up. Pop that. And all in. That is a lot of mana for no good reason now. We'll get rid of the pain land. What are we doing here? Whenever I sacrifice something, somebody mills. All right, cool. I'm planning on sacrificing, but I need to get myself an Urabrask Forge. Or a nice snake. He wants to go for the shooting. Let's touch this thing so he goes and shoots it. I'll look at it again. That just makes him think there's something kooky going on over there. Because he's got black. What's he going to do against enchantments? There was like officially one black card that did enchantments. I think it was probably gone. Ooh, there's nothing. You're going to whiff on this one, baby. Do it. No, I don't want to lose it. I do have him on M4. Okay, great. No, you're not. What are you? Something else? Something dumb? All right, we'll just pop you then. There's no land for you. Ooh, we get this? Cool. I thought it might disappear at the end of my turn. That was going to be extraordinarily bad. Okay, no matter what, we're putting this guy out. Let's go ahead and do it that way. Put this guy up and this guy. I just need a nice snake. Down to 9. Yeah, no mana for you, hippie. Where I keep making you mill stuff. Either of them being killed is good for me. There you go. Good job. This guy is space lame. Whatever. I mean, he's a 3. You know, in the case of like Moneyball, it's all good. Let's go. Let's keep milling. Oh, I need mana. All right, never mind then. What's he down to now? 38? I'll have to do that another, like, what? 19 more times? That's super dumb. I got nothing good in my graveyard, so who cares, right? Suck it. I'm kind of taking too long on my turn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, boo-boo. All right, so he's all tapped out. I got 20 life, and I've got another super trampler. Yeah, you're dead, dude. What's he down to? 32? It's weird trying to mill somebody. Let's just go for it. We can kill him now. I don't want to drag this out too long. Of course, he's got something going on. We got a problem. There's the problem. Now we can wait on this, that's fine. Oh no, Terminator's untapped. You're coming after my stuff? Home sliped? Oh, you do have the ability to destroy enchantments. Good for you. And we win. Suck it, sucker fish. Suck it. Suck it. I playing against okiemtgdad. By the way, Oki is usually slang for somebody from Oklahoma. Keep. It's from the time of the Great Depression. Which was the late 1930s. That's why you don't hear people refer to people as Okies anymore. Let's see what happens here first. All right, gone. Yeah, more mana sounds fun. All right, it's all green so far. Oh, that's not great. Let's throw it on our boy there. Let's curse him to eternal victimhood. You're cursed. All right, so you gonna let it? Is he gonna go for the chump? Chump, 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 chumpity chump. There you go. That's nothing but good across the board. I'm not sure that's enough for us. That's just us sacrificing things later. Okay, I'm cool with that. Oh, is that really what you wanted to return back to your hand? And we win! In your face! Okie Pajoki victory! I'm playing against Pyrrhus. Virus? That sounds good. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Crap. Alright, we got to put a forge out. That's good. This guy really pumps up. They put out an enchantment. Should probably kill him soon. I can kill the other thing, no problem. Okay, you gonna protect it? All right, you are. All right, don't be stealing my Urabrask Forge, though, super jerk. He is. All right, we'll get it back once we kill that thing. Creature, I don't have any creatures and hams to sacrifice. All right, I guess we'll do both these things. 1. What do we reward 2 at this point? I got enough for it. Yeah, all right. Welcome, there we go. Suck it, Senior Snotty Pants. Suck it. Up against Barnby. I like the cards in his hand. Seems good. All right, shut up, mouse. What does this thing do? It's just a 1-drop. I'm not too worried about it then. That's sorcery. It's got a lot of crazy stuff you can do with white. Okay, we're not getting the Viper out with what we got the next turn. Still not enough. So I have 3 mana, plus I have 2 guys, only 5. Which means next turn is 100% Urabrask Forge. This guy's good for the Snick, because you get 2 things you can work with it. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, plenty there. Because he looks like he's got what he takes to take out a Rottenmouth Viper. We have to play our cards. That's all we can do. Can't just sit around guessing what he's got in his hands. That's disappointing. I can still do it with the Sulfurous Spring and the Urabrask Forge and the other guys. So let's just do that. All right, let's drop him like he's hot. I don't need another one of those. All right, you want to discard, get rid of your dude, blow up your rooms, take a bunch of damage. Are popping. We're doing evil stuff here. All in, baby cakes. Look at that. 2 counters on the snake. That's just 2 stupid counters, and it makes you feel so incredibly happy. Is he giving up his planeswalker there? He is. Suck it. You're down to 2. This game's going to be over shortly. He's only got whatever he's got right there. Is he going to lock the room? That takes way too much. Yeah, we got it. Smoking. All right, so here we are with Rakdos neck, and it was glorious. It was fantastic. It was very simple in its what it did, and it just sort of it played, and you got to just enjoy being in this particular deck. The big 2 things it had going on, it had just a bunch of little dudes, and if they died, it was actually better if they died in a lot of cases. You had a lot of stuff that you just wanted to sacrifice. That was all great. But ultimately, it was about getting out Urabrask's Forge and Rottenmouth Viper. And we were able to get a bunch of them. I mean, I don't remember having a bunch of card draw, yet we were able to get 2 or 3 Vipers per game, in our hands at least. And they're relatively easy to cast because of the cards that we had. Between the Disturbing Mirth and, the bunch of little enchantments that came out. I loved Spiteful Hexmage. I mean, just his little curse token, that was an extra thing to sacrifice. And we were sacrificing enchantments like crazy. So altogether, this deck was easy to understand, simple to play, and very, very effective. So let's go ahead and add this up. Let's take a look. All right, so who was the MVP? The most valuable player. And to me, it was the Rottenmouth Viper, which is crazy. I don't like calling the most expensive card the MVP because it seems that's just the deal. But the thing is, for this deck, the Rottenmouth Viper was the giant bomb. You were able to play it early because the rest of the deck supported you, putting stuff out that you could sacrifice to get this guy out early. And so it came in much quicker than that, and was able to come out and just be completely effective. Of course, having it just get destroyed immediately by your opponents, it sucked. There's 0 protection for it. We didn't have any graveyard recursion or anything, but this deck was fast enough and aggressive enough that it didn't really matter. In general, if we got it out, it stuck around. They were pretty screwed. Plus, Urabrask Forge just kept coming at them again and again and again as an unending force of evil. So, fantastic supplies. I appreciate it. But this is the guy I'm not probably the most... I'd never really liked Braids. Braids and me don't get along. I mean, it's like, yes, Braids and Urabrask Forge go together perfectly. You got to sacrifice it anyway. Why don't we just, sacrifice this and then force them to either get rid of a creature, artifact, or lose 2 mana? Sure. I mean, 2 life and then you draw a card. That's cool. I believe in it. But there might be better things to do. Maybe stealing other people's guys. That's always great. And I might even think that might be better to do. Now, it's not a permanent. It's not something you can sacrifice. Braids is. But you could always grab somebody else's permanent with something like that and then sacrifice it to do things. We've got lots of sacrifices here. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of Braids. I think there could be something better that we could potentially do with it. All right, so our MVP, most valuable player, is the Rottenmouth Viper. Congratulations. Let's get to where we actually count. Number 1, was this deck competitive? I had not played on ranked. I just had it in casual, and it did a good job. I just didn't feel like flipping over. So, but I ended up pulling this thing at 80%. 80%. And I got to say, I played so many decks between yesterday and today, and this was the first one that actually got anywhere decent. So, I don't know, everything in casual, in ranked. Man, it was just been so rough against just whatever the stuff that I thought looked interesting This was the first one that really pulled it together. I think this is a competitive deck. I know I picked it up off the Platinum Mythic list, so it did well in ranked, apparently. I just didn't do it. So I'm going to say, yes, this is definitely a competitive deck. Number 2, was this deck fun? Absolutely. I mean, I'm a big fan of aggro, and look at that. Ones. You've got lots of stuff to do straight off the bat. So you are dropping stuff like it's hot from turn 1. And then you're just rolling into it with 2 and 3. And this guy's way up here at 6, but you're never playing 6 for this guy. Usually you're paying maybe 3 or 4 for it. That's probably the best you pay for Rottenmouth Viper. So anyways, yeah, we're rocking. This deck is an aggro deck. This is a fast, aggressive deck, and you have lots of fun playing early game mechanics with this particular deck. If you are an aggro player like me, this is absolutely a fun deck. Lastly, was this deck interesting? And I got to say, yes. Why was it interesting? Number 1, because it had Urabrask's Forge in it. That's the reason why. Anything that's got Urabrask's Forge, at least 3, I'm going to probably try to play. And this one had Rottenmouth Viper. I like Rottenmouth Viper. My problem with it is that he always just gets killed early and nothing really happens. But this deck got them out. Just was really good at getting it out. We were really good at getting to it. I don't know why. I mean, we really didn't have any card draw. I guess we had a little bit, right? Between the Freebooter letting you scry and the Percussionist letting you go and get another card, that kind of thing. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why we were kind of going through our cards quick enough. Yeah, very much so. All right, so I felt really happy about it. Yeah, this had a very interesting flow. That these 2 cards are pretty standard. You see them a bunch. But the way the rest of this deck went just synergized into it to make it work so much better as far as getting your Rottenmouth Vipers out. I mean, Urabrask just stood alone, but basically it popped out a guy that you could sacrifice, and the rest of this deck loved working with it. So this is a Rakdos sacrifice deck, but really it's all just about getting to your snakes. All right, so let's add this up. Was this deck competitive? Absolutely. Was this deck fun? Totes my goats. Was this deck interesting? I completely believe it was. That makes it into an A+ deck. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice, I'd highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.